Hello, dear RIGA International Film Festival audience. It is wonderful to meet you in this mediated format of Q&As. So today and now at this moment, we're having a talk with the director of the film Lamb. And I'm very delighted to meet you, Valdimar, here. And how are you in general?
I'm great. And yeah, thank you for talking to me.
But I also wanted to ask, how do you feel after such a great start with your debut feature film at the Cannes Film Festival at the Uncertain Regard program and receiving the award for originality?
Yeah, you know, we are just extremely happy and thankful for, especially, to screen in Cannes and also, be invited to all the other festivals. Yeah, we are super happy.
But just to start to talk about your film, I was curious to ask about how this concept of two lamb sheep owners and keepers, and that they have this miraculous child on Christmas Eve, how it actually evolved, the idea itself.
I knew that I wanted to make a feature film, and I start making like a mood board or sketchbook where I was collecting paintings and photos and also doing a lot of drawings just to try to create the mood I wanted to have in the film. And what I had from the beginning was, sheep farmers, and then this creature, Dārta, that I had been drawing a lot. And then my producers, Hrönn and Sarah, introduced me to Sjón, who wrote the script with me and is a writer. And after I showed him this book, we just start, meeting every week for, some years.
Yeah. But as I understood, this path from the idea to making the film, it lasted for about 8 years or so, or even more.
I think me and Sjón started to work together like 2009. So yeah.
So you had a lot of coffees and talks like that, I assume, while you were making.
Yeah. I think probably the first 5 years we didn't start writing the script. We were just talking about the scenes and somehow coming up with this story and doing then we did like a treatment, and when the producers were happy, Sjón took over and started to write the script.
But maybe you can comment this very unusual and yet effective combination of a folktale and mythology. So we have also a fairy tale like relations, also this very in a way like ancient Greek tragedy in a way, especially from Noomi Rapace's Maria's perspective. How this all came together for you. Maybe you could comment also some aspects, on the mythology.
I really wanted to work with Sjón because in his books he sometimes have some he works with like Icelandic folk tales and also this mythical stories, and I think it's very fascinating, and also how he know all this stories so well, and but we we somehow, you know, we use a lot of elements from the Icelandic folk tales, but we are also trying to make our own folk tale. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to say it, but yeah, I think because we didn't, we are not working with some specific story. We are rather using like some elements from you know, maybe all of them, or you know, just small element.
Because I assume a lot of spectators might be curious to know whether there is an actual, let's say, nemesis or a character that has been revealed at the end of the film, but it's not, as you say. Yeah.
But you know, none of the creatures in the film are from you know, Icelandic folk tales. At least you know, we haven't found anything that that we get that idea from. You know, it's more like, for example, you know, Christmas night, because in so many stories something happened over a Christmas night. So it's just yeah, more like that.
And maybe you can comment this direction of humor, because I found some scenes actually quite funny, and they have this kind of intangible kind of multi-layer effect. Actually, maybe you also approached it in this kind of manner, or how important humor you think is in this film in particular.
I think it's very important because, you know, like the first chapter is a little bit heavy, and so you know, I think it's very important to have this comical relief, and yeah, somehow I think it makes the film, you know, much better.
But also I wanted to ask about this preconception of an Icelandic film itself, that usually they're taking place, or the actions are taking place in kind of remote house or a city, etc. How this kind of self-image of Icelandic films are present in your film, also thinking about the sense of humor.
Yeah, I think we use all the cliche about how Icelandic film should be, you know, with isolate, you know, farmers living very isolated, and yeah, there is a bus, there's a graveyard. Yeah, I think we have it all.
All the tropes and all the details. Yeah. But maybe you can speak a little bit more about working with actors and how it was for you, because this is your feature debut film. How the process happened and what kind of additions both actors delivered, characters.
Yeah, I was very lucky with the actors, because I just got the actors that I wanted, and we didn't, you know, have much time before shooting, you know, because Noomi was very busy, so she just arrived, you know, like one day before we start shooting. But you know, I was in very good contact with all the actors, and we talked a lot about the characters, and you know, as a first-time director, they were also helping me out a lot, you know, and so it was you know, we created the characters together, you know, and I'm very thankful for my actors here.
But I was also wondering, especially knowing this in a way complexity of the film. There is some lightness, as we previously spoke, but there is this kind of very difficultly decoded kind of sense of this kind of undercurrent or a tone. But how, for example, audiences in other countries and festivals have reacted upon this film? As we know, in Cannes, the jury voted that it has originality, but how it's perceived in other places.
Yeah, it's a yeah, it's I feel it's interesting because it's a little bit similar in all the countries that we have visited. But now I'm here in Mexico, and I'm super happy, with the audience here. It's very strange connection they have with the film, and I'm not quite sure if it's because if their stories are similar or something, but they at least the screening we had here, it was so nice talking to the people after the screening, and they were so happy. So yeah, but I feel that in most of the festivals, people like it or just don't like it. It's I feel there's almost nothing between.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to know also how it will be received here in Latvia, because we also have, in terms of folklore and mythology, very similar also kind of aspects, or this kind of presence of nature itself. It's being manifested in numerous kind of creatures, or this kind of shape-shifting aspect as well is present. Yeah.
I know that I very often get like because some people think feel that it's very religious, and I understand that but we were working with the folk tales, and somehow they are so related. You can find so many elements that are similar. So it's But I think it's always interesting to hear like people coming up with something that that I have maybe not thought about, and that makes me super happy to find like a new reading to the film.
Yeah, that's quite interesting in terms of this religious kind of aspect. But also, in a way, it might be similar. But I wanted to ask about this revenge of a nature. Whether this kind of reading was also in your mind when you made Lamb, or also kind of not self, but more like ironic touch to this kind of revenge of nature. Because the main characters, or specifically Maria, she's trying to preserve what is previously is lost, and now she's trying to hold on to it despite everything.
Yeah, Dārta is some kind of healing for Maria and Ingvar, and they just take it right away, because they know that they will, it will do something for them, and we were trying to have like a have the film like that you could read like a few things out of it, but this nature element, because we wanted to have like in the script, the nature is almost like a character in the script. So yeah, it's And if you take something from the nature, it will somehow get it back. It's we are so small against the nature, and yeah, I think I just think that people should just make their own reading out of the film.
Sure, sure.
Well, it's totally boring answers,
But also I wanted to say that it's quite difficult to talk about your film, especially if you don't want to ruin the first time experience for others.
Yeah, because for me it's so important. I think it's the best cinema experience is to go there without knowing almost nothing. So
and also I assume for you it has been quite difficult, especially if you're giving a lot of interviews or talks about the film, how you can tell about it, not in terms of the synopsis or the actions, but to have the wholesome or the wholeness of the film. It's quite difficult for me at this moment also.
Yeah, but somehow I'm glad, when I've been reading some of the review, they are not, they usually don't tell, what is going to happen. I really appreciate that.
Also, there is one question in my mind, but I think we can skip, about how you're connecting in the way Icelandic cinema with one particular character in the film, which I found quite actually funny when I noticed, especially on the screen in the small TV set in the film, and especially later in the film as well. But I think we have to skip it, right?
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's a short film that I made, a long time ago. It's called Harmsa or Dolor, and it plays in Lamp in the television, and there, it's very known actor in Iceland, Ingvar Sigurðsson.
Yeah, who's also well known to our audience. He visited Riga 2 years ago, so with a day. Yeah.
Amazing film. I really love it.
Yeah, he's a wonderful actor. So you have to be quite, I think, also proud to have him also in the film.
Yeah, I'm super proud, and I really appreciated what he did for the film.
Mm-hmm. Is there, Valdimar, something that you wanted to add from your own perspective, besides guiding audience not to reveal the film to others who haven't seen the film? Maybe there is something that you would like to share or say, or there is something that you want to just say.
Yeah, I really would like to come, but unfortunately I can't come. But I just hope that the audience will enjoy the film. And also thank you for inviting Lamp.
Yeah, thank you for this film and the experience, which is one of a kind, actually. There are rarities in cinema of the film that you made. So thank you, Valdimar, for sharing some minutes for this talk, and hopefully we will see very soon you in Riga with your next film, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Okay, thank you very much, and take care. Bye.